Hello and welcome to this review of my Westfield Les Paul style guitar. This is a very interesting beast indeed. I wanted to go into the details and all the nerdy geeky stuff of this guitar, you know, neck depth and all that stuff and weight, whatnot. What I didn't expect when I started to go into this guitar was some of the strange things going on the inside. This is a unique build, shall we say, to put it mildly. Certainly unique in my experience. I'd love to know what you think, having seen what I'm going to show you inside this guitar and externally as well, because there's all the normal stuff. There's the top, which is absolutely lovely. It's not sort of a flame mapley thing or what have you. It's more showing all that nice wood grain through. It looks beautiful. It's that kind of sort of cherry burst, if you like. It's a gorgeous looking beast. It really is a gorgeous looking guitar. I absolutely love this thing. And we've got all the gold hardware on there, which normally, as you can see, it has begun to tarnish over time. I think this guitar must be what? I don't know, 10 years old or something. As you might know, Westfield, which is the brand name, and that does actually look very classy. And you've got that sort of Les Paul custom-y style thing going on there, that insignia. Westfield were a brand based in Scotland, and they unfortunately ceased trading in 2013, and they were revived again in 2022 by Roto Sound, which is actually pretty cool. They don't sadly make electric guitars anymore. They make acoustic guitars under that brand name. Now, what I would say is this is, as I say, it is a strange beast. Now, most of the designations of these guitars, I believe it's something like E4000, E4500. Check out the binding on there. It's all very nicely done. That's normal, and I've just shown you a hint of some of the weirdness to come. Yeah, there's kind of like fairly kind of standard Les Paul style guitars that they produced, and with those designations, I've been inspired to do a quick video of this one by actually watching Foxy's Guitar Show. He does wicked videos as well. You should check him out. He has done a couple of reviews of Westfields. I think his are more the kind of normal ones. This is something a bit weird. So you might very well find that yours is similar to mine. I don't know. I've not seen another one done quite like this. So we'll cover off the normal stuff and we'll get into the weird stuff. So normal stuff, strap buttons. We've got a triple binding on the front. It's got the nice binding on the fretboard. That all feels very good. It's got what looks like a rosewood fretboard in there and those kind of block inlays. It all looks pretty normal at the moment. The nut is well cut. It plays nicely. We'll do a sound demo as well. We'll do all the normal stuff that I normally do. So first things first, let me show you where the weirdness begins. So this is a set neck guitar. And as you can see, it's got a kind of a slightly strange construction. This is not as you might expect to see on a lot of Les Paul guitars. You've got this part of the guitar jutting out and then you've got this part going in. Now, to me, this is more, I don't know, it's a different kind of construction, should we say. It's somewhere between what you might normally see on a set neck and what you might see on a bolt-on neck guitar. Now, I'll show you what I mean. I will grab my Gibson, and as you can see, the neck style of the way it's set in is rather different. As you can see, the body goes all the way up to here, and you'd have the normal sort of joint going in, it'd be glued in, set, done. And you can see all the way around, that's it. It's just straight into the body, no fuss, no muss. That's how it is. And you can see the difference of them. The mahogany there, the maple cap, boom. As you can see the straight line where it's been glued in. So no surprises. And that's where this does look a little bit strange to me. Does it make any difference in terms of how it plays? No, not particularly. It's just weird. And I like weird things. Was this an end of run guitar where they're sort of using bits and pieces and being creative with what they've got? I don't know. Or maybe this is just the way they do them. It works fine. Now we're going to get inside for more weird fun. Okay, so we're going to go into the pickup cavities. And this is when the wild bits really start to kick in. So, into the bridge, and the pickup itself looks pretty normal. You've got something in there. It says there's a little upside down. Maybe that is just about, you can just about see that. Actually says, I thought I was going to say B for bridge. Actually says R, I think. But yeah, I mean, nothing to really tell if there's anything in terms of the sort of branding or anything like that. Bear in mind, these are the pickups from my other Westfield, but as I say, they're basically exactly the same as the ones that were in here, but that didn't work, sadly. So now we have a look inside the cavity. So far so good. And you go, oh, everything looks normal, but you would be wrong. Take a look, and you've got a nice hole which goes all the way around. So you've got that is actually a hole. So for example, I don't know if I can show you my screwdriver, that goes straight in, or one of my screws there, straight in. Look, there you go. So that is all the way around the cavity, apart from the ends here. So they've used a piece of wood in there, which you can just about see, and they've kind of created like a sandwich between the top that's there and the rest of the body, and they've left that gap. So that is kind of interesting construction. I would not call that weight relief to any degree, really, simply because the guitar's still a bit of a relatively heavy Les Paul, I would say. It's certainly not light. So yeah, that's strange, isn't it? So let's have a look, and we'll have a look inside the neck pickup as well. So show you there, and we've got exactly the same deal. You can see it looks okay in terms of the routing and nothing particularly special, but in terms of those holes, so you've got that as well. Now what I would say is that it also does come with somewhat of an advantage. I found that when I was having to sort of do a bit of the wiring and redo the pickups. Now in fact, you might be able to tell on the other side where there's the gap there too, I've been able to slide the wires through, and I will show you on the opposite side now what that looks like from the control cavity. So let's have a look inside the back. Now, what first popped out at me was the fact that actually it's very cleanly cut. It's a nice control cavity. They've done a pretty nice job on it. I was pleasantly surprised when I opened this up first. You've got the normal hole for all your wires. Now you can see, obviously this is my own wiring. This is a fairly quick job I did to get it up and running. Now, what differs to any normal, inverted commas, Les Paul style guitar, or any other guitar I've seen for that matter, is that it has this gap here. This gap is kind of difficult to tell that it's a gap, but there is a gap all the way along here, which is where you've got the same thing from the pickup cavity side. I've managed to slide these wires through that gap, which is actually pretty flipping handy. And I think, given that this is quite a small hole for a couple of the wires to get through, for the pickup wiring, it was actually very convenient to have that gap there. And that's exactly what I did to get this thing fired up. I had to change the control pots, had to change the pickups. So it actually looks pretty good in there. Now, obviously, the reason I had to change all this was because, as per my original video, the stuff in there originally was not working, sadly, but this is all from my original Westfield. So it's all still Westfield components, Les Paul to Les Paul style guitar. So it's all still their components. Basically, you can see it is small pots. The wiring, you'll have to forgive me, the tape is mine. That's how I've done it to get things moving. The back of the guitar actually looks quite nice as well. You can see all of that wood through the paint there. It actually looks very nice indeed. And for a closer look at that neck, you can see that join there again from this side, and you can see the neck all the way up here. It's all actually very cleanly done. And yeah, it looks like, from what I'm seeing now, from what I'm showing you and can see on camera, I'm trying to just see whether we've got more than one piece. It looks like it might actually even be a single piece. You know what? I've had a look in better lighting, and as you can see, it is a two-piece. You can see the line there where there's a two-piece neck there. So that's actually quite good for stability with this kind of heel joint on it. So yeah, it is a nice neck, and it's a very comfortable neck. Neck depth at the first fret is 23 millimeters. So the nut width is 44mm, which is a bit wider than you might normally expect. Normally you might think sort of 43mm, so that does add to some of the surprising results of this guitar and makes the neck feel a little bit chunkier. Neck depth at the 12th fret is 24.3mm. At the 12th fret, the neck is 52.4mm wide. The guitar weighs in at just over 4 kilograms, which is 8 pounds 14 ounces, which, you know, no slouch for sure. This is a fairly heavy Les Paul style guitar. You know, it's a pretty normal weight for this kind of guitar for sure. So we'll run through some tones, we'll try each of the pickup configurations, we'll see how smooth the knobs are. So we're just clean at the moment with a bit of reverb. We'll do a little bit of dirty kind of crunch as well in a minute. So you can hear it gets a little bit more sort of throaty. So you've got a bit more throatiness in the neck. The pickups are okay, but I wouldn't say that they're actually knocking it out of the park in terms of their articulation and whatnot. They do sound pretty good. I'll give you that. They're pretty good. Let's do a bit of knob fun and see, you know, what kind of difference. Yeah, it's pretty much on and off. Not surprising. There's not a lot going on in the tone department in terms of the tone knob. It does what it does. It's absolutely fine. It's probably one of the first things that I would switch out. For the price, and for the price they're going for now, they're still very, very good. But I would say, yeah, those are probably some things that I would probably look at changing. Let's do some high gain settings just for a laugh, and then we'll do some overall thoughts. In fact, you know what? I think clean it sounds okay, but sort of I'm thinking with the bit of gain on it, suddenly these pickups really come alive. That actually sounds really nice to me. I like the way this sounds with a bit of crunch. So my overall thoughts on this guitar, it is a strange beastie. No question it's a strange beastie. So I would definitely seek one of these out. I really, really like these. As I say, the strangeness with what's going on at the neck joint, that's fairly unusual to see that kind of construction on a set neck. And some of the strangeness that's going on inside is what it is. I mean, you know, I'd love to know what your thoughts and comments are about all of that. It does sound like a good guitar. It's got a very authentic Les Paul feel to it. The neck is really nice. It's got a nice, fairly chunky neck, this one, and it just feels very, very nice and quite inspiring to play. So there you go. I think Westfield guitars, I've got this one and I've got another one. I will probably end up getting more over time. I do really like these. I think they're superb, cheap sort of Les Paul style guitars to get your teeth sunk into. So there you go. That's what I think. I'd love to know what you think. Please do like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.